Narcissists are people that talk about themselves all the time, or narcissists are people that do things for themselves all the time. If a narcissist just talks about themselves all the time and you get annoyed by that, what you can do, you can look for other people that want to listen to your thoughts and your ideas. There's a common theme for when you're actually talking with a narcissist. A narcissist is a person that talks really fast, a person that is always quick to speak. And what you can do to handle or respond to a narcissist is just being able to not speak straight away and to actually listen to what they have to say. And then once you listen carefully of what they have to say, you can write down any questions that they may say, or you may ask the questions to them directly. The reason why you want to listen to a narcissist of every single thing that they might say is because this is the only opportunity that you can catch them out to see if they're right or wrong about something. A narcissist is usually going to be a person that just says anything that's on their mind, and they won't care about how you'll feel. So what you'll do to deal with a narcissist, you'll have to make sure that you don't take what they say to you personally, that rather than taking it personally, you should see if what they're saying about you is true, and it's up to you if you want to change. And it's also up to you to actually speak to the narcissist of why they said that. When a narcissist is thinking about themselves, that they only do things if it benefits them and not you, what you should do everything you can to not spend as much time with them on a task. That what you should do everything you can to split a task so that way you're doing your thing. If you're stuck dealing with a narcissist, the only way out of it is to complete a task as quickly as you can. And the reason why I keep saying task is because I'm thinking of being stuck in a workplace with a narcissist. And the aim of this is just to make sure that if you are stuck with a narcissist, you have to do everything you can to complete the task as quickly as you can. And then afterwards, make what you have to say really clear. Otherwise, they're going to ignore your suggestions. And it's because you're a team, that's why they're listening to you. So what you have to do, you have to communicate clearly of what you want to get done. Otherwise, they'll walk all over you and then you'll do everything that they say. And if you don't do things the way that they like, they'll start critiquing you and they'll look for reasons of why you're not good at something. I wanted to add as well that narcissists are usually very honest people. They'll just say what is on their mind and they'll say what it is that they're wanting without any hesitation. And normally people would say don't be selfish, but it is good for you to be selfish in that aspect because you don't want anyone else to get what you want and then you're left with nothing. So what you'll have to do, you'll have to be honest with other people of what you want, and this is only when it's necessary. So if you want something, you should be honest, and the reason why you should be honest is so that you don't waste your time and you don't waste other people's time. You just find what it is that you want and you just be honest. How to deal with a narcissist? You should have other people with you in an argument, because when it comes to a popularity contest, let's say there's a group of 5 people and the narcissist is one of those 5 people. You and the other 3 people won't like the narcissist in the group, and any opportunity that you get to kick the narcissist out of a group, any of you would have done it. So when it comes to dealing with a narcissist, you should have people on your side, and when they're on your side and they like your points and they figure out how it's going to benefit them and you actually help other people, they're more likely to defend you. And because there's like 2v1 or there's like 4v1 in the example that I've said, the narcissist is going to be outpowered and there's nothing the narcissist can do because there's more people against the narcissist. And there's one thing that I wanted to say. I did say narcissists are mostly honest, but the one thing that a narcissist won't admit is when they're wrong, and they won't admit when they need other people. So this is why, if you can have other people on your side against a narcissist, the narcissist will have no choice but to forfeit. Another way of how you can deal with a narcissist is knowing when to walk away in an argument. Because if you're arguing with a narcissist, you'll realize that some arguments, they lead to nowhere. And a narcissist can usually argue all day because they want to prove that they're right and they have no other way of looking at the situation. So when you are dealing with a narcissist, you should know when to walk away, and you should be able to react in a normal way, that you shouldn't overreact, because you have no control over the situation, and the narcissist will do everything they can to push your buttons. Take out your anger in other ways, in like a more constructive way, by journaling, by meditating, by being active, rather than taking your anger out on someone else. And it's also important to not hold grudges as well. If you hold grudges, they're not even thinking about you a day later. And if you hold grudges, you're just thinking about them a day later. It's usually good to think of a situation like this, that you can forgive people for what they've done, but you can't forget what they did, just to make sure that it doesn't happen again. When you are dealing with a narcissist, you shouldn't be arguing back and forth. When you're dealing with a narcissist and you're having a conversation, you have to be confident in how you say things, and you have to be confident in what you're talking about, because you're both trying to prove each other wrong. And unless one of you proves each other wrong, the conversation will go on, and one of you will have to end the conversation. So you have to know what you're talking about to end the conversation faster. When you are talking with a narcissist, they're going to look for mistakes. So when it comes to a conversation you have in person, you should do everything you can to know what you're talking about, to realize why you're in the conversation and what you hope to gain from the conversation. And they'll do the same thing as well. And if you forget these steps, then the other person has control of the situation, because they will ask you a question and you won't know what to say. So that's why it's better for you to at least know why you're in a conversation and what you hope to gain from a conversation. And you should have other people that are helping you, so that other people can have evidence of what you're talking about. Because what they can do, they can record what you're saying through like an email, they can write it down, they can witness everything, and they'll defend you because they like you anyway. And the narcissist, they don't really get along with people. So that's why it's good for you to be able to spot a narcissist, so that you don't become a narcissist yourself. Another thing that you should realize when you are dealing with a narcissist is that you should look at the situation objectively. You should realize that you're not stuck with the narcissist forever, that you may be stuck with the narcissist, but it's for like a short period of time. And depending on how quickly you get a task done, depending on how many other people are with you in the group, you then can speak to other people. You don't have to speak with them all the time, and you shouldn't blame them for why things are stressful. What you should do, you should divide the work fairly, and if they don't do their part, or if they ignore you, then you could use that as evidence for later on. What you can do to deal with a narcissist is changing your location. The first thing that you would do is just change your location when you are dealing with a narcissist. Because if you're stuck in a tight, small space, it's better for you to have more space in a different location if you can control that. And it's also important to realize that you don't have to have your breaks at the same time, at the same place. What you can do, you can look for opportunities to have a break somewhere else where you're not always with them. And it's good for you to have that time to yourself. where you don't see them, you don't speak to them, even if it's for like 5-10 minutes. You should figure out a way of how to control the situation, or at least control things that you can change, rather than complaining of the things that you can't control. If you are dealing with a narcissist and you know you can't do anything about it, it's usually better for you to confront the narcissist to someone that can do something about it. And it's best for you to bring evidence, and because you have other people with you, they'll defend you. So when you are dealing with a narcissist, it's better for you to gather evidence, it's better for you to divide the work fairly, to do the task as quickly as you can, and it's important to be confident in what you're saying and being confident in how you say it. So you should be confident in why you're in the conversation with them, and you should be confident in what you want to gain from the conversation. And when it comes to a narcissist, you should look at them directly, you should have good eye contact. And when you are dealing with a narcissist, you shouldn't run away as soon as it gets difficult.